Hey, Algebra 2. I wanted to put a quick video together for you to help you with a quiz that you guys are getting ready to take. This is quiz 36. It's a probability quiz, 11.1, 11.2. So I've got some questions for you and a situation we can work out together, all right? So a couple of things. There's a lot of terms, there's some questions that you need to know, a lot of definitions that come out of this section that you need to be aware of. Things like mutually exclusive and not mutually exclusive. Do you know what that means or what the difference of those are? I'll give you examples of those on the quiz tomorrow and ask you to tell me which events are different, okay? And then dependent and independent. You need to know those definitions as well, so look those up, be aware of those. What is a probability? What's the definition of relative frequency? Be able to answer those questions and put them together. What are some rules of probability? Did you know about probabilities? What's the highest the probability can be? What's the lowest the probability can be? Look those things up. Be ready to answer those things. What's a complement of a probability? All those are great questions that you need to be able to do, okay? I've got a little bit of a situation for you here I want to work out with you. So I've got a bookshelf and I've got some books on the shelf. 4 blue, 5 red, 6 green, 2 black, and 3 of them are blue and red, okay? Now I want to ask you some questions about these and see if we can come up with some answers about it, okay? First off, what's the probability of choosing a book that would be either red or blue? Okay, so either or would be fine. Now in that case, we're going to do the probability of getting a blue one. Now there's 4 blue, but there's also 3 blue down here, okay? So a total of 4 plus 3, sorry, doing that in my head, over the total number of books, right? So I have 9, and then another 6 is going to give me 15, plus another 5, I have 20 books, okay? So my probability of blues would be 4 plus 3 over 20, or 7 over 20. And then I said blue or red. So we have some red ones right here, and the red ones are 5, but there's also 3 more, so 8, or 5 plus 3 over 20. Okay, so those are my probabilities there, and I've got to add them together. Because remember, the question was either or, so you could have any of those and it's a favorable outcome. So again, like we said, we're going to have 7 over 20 plus 8 over 20. That's going to give me a 15 over 20, and then always reduce your fractions if you need to, or go ahead and turn them into decimals, 3 decimal places. But this one reduced, you divide them by 5, and you're going to have 3 over 4, or a 0.750, put another equal sign there, little percent or probability of getting a book that is blue or red, and including the ones that are both blue and red. Okay, so hopefully that question makes a little bit of sense. Let me show you what your next one is going to look like. Okay, your next question, now let's make it even simpler than our last. Let's just say, what's the probability of a green or a black one? Okay, so real simple. If it's green, it's 6 over 20. If it's black, it's 2 over 20, all right? So let's go ahead and find this one. It's just going to add them together, and you're going to have 8 over 20. Of course, reduce. So divide those maybe by 4 if you want to start that way, and you're going to have 2 over 5. So I have a 2/5 probability of getting a green or a black. You could change it to a decimal. 2/5 is 0.400. Remember, 3 decimal places. And so there's my probability. All right, one more question for you to kind of finish it out and make it a little harder for our next one. Okay, let's make things a little harder. Let's say that we want to choose a blue book, all right, first, and we want to replace it, put it back on the shelf, and then we want to find, let's do a black one. A blue book and then a black one, and we want to get them in that order. That's our qualifications here, okay? So first off, what's the probability of a blue one? Well, we have 4, we have 3, so 7 out of 20. We talked about that already. And now, what's the probability? We're putting it back, remember. What's the probability then of getting a black one? Well, it's 2 out of 20. Remember that if we say with replacement, the 20 doesn't change. If we say without replacement, meaning we're holding on to the first book we chose, that number would have been a 19, because now there's only 19 books on the shelf. But we replaced it. Now remember that this is one of these compound probabilities here, and so this is going to require multiplication, not addition. Okay, we're not looking for what's the probability of either or, that kind of thing. This is, we want the blue, a book of blue on the cover, and then we want a black one, so we have to multiply those together. So when you multiply those, you're going to get 14 over 400, okay? I don't have my calculator here right now, but you want to reduce, well, hey, we could divide those by 2. So we can say 7 over 200 If my math is right, I think that's 0.140, but I need to check that with a calculator to be sure. But that's what you want to do with your calculator to give me a correct answer. Now I've got my calculator. We're ready to go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to 7 divided by 200, and it's a little bit less. I went the wrong way. I went up. I should have gone down. It is 0.035. Okay? So now I have the correct probability of getting first a blue one, putting it back, and then getting a black one. All right, so that's the correct probability. Okay, about 10 questions on your quiz. If you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me up with a text, a phone call, or even a chat on the LMS system. Happy to help you. Do your best.